Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, we are going to tackle part 2 of how to win in a recession. And this part is all about the hustle. It's about the time we put in, the extra work we do, and the creative ways we find to get pay raises, new jobs, and side hustles. We want it all. If you are new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have traveled the world, I own 2 houses in Spain, and I'm on a creative journey to financial independence. I believe the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope you'll subscribe and join me on this journey no matter where you are starting from. Okay, last week we covered how to protect your job in a recession and how to reduce your expenses by budgeting, finding ways to cut costs, and more. If you haven't watched that one yet, the beginning is always the best place to start. Next, I want you to take a look at your career. Are you underpaid for your role? Do you like the company you work for and the culture? Are you in a position to ask for a pay raise? Or could you take your talents elsewhere and get paid more? Even things as simple as a good 401k can be worth changing companies over. Let's say, for easy math, that you make $50,000 per year, but you work for a company that doesn't match any of your 401k investments. If you move to a company that still pays you $50,000 per year, but matches your 401k investments up to 6%, well, that's a 6% pay raise, which is $3,000 more per year that you can have invested. Even though you won't see more money in your paycheck, unless you're already maxing out your 401k, which would be amazing, that's still money that is going to impact your retirement. That $3,000 invested in the stock market at 10% return rate would be worth over $1,300,000 after 40 years. Little changes over long periods of time make a massive difference. I want to briefly talk about skilling up for better jobs as well. Let me just give you one example of what's out there. You might have heard of a company called Salesforce. They're the largest CRM company in the world. Other companies who use their software need Salesforce admins, developers, architects, and other positions. The crazy thing is that Salesforce provides all of their training for free. If you have the discipline to spend a couple of hours every day training from your computer on the Salesforce platform, you take a certification exam to be officially certified, and then you can find entry-level Salesforce jobs just configuring the CRM platform. If you're really good at finding your way around a computer or a phone, then trust me, this isn't that hard. The entry-level jobs for a Salesforce admin are between $60,000 and $80,000, and that's the lowest level role. Developers, architects, and other roles pay even more. After a year or two in the ecosystem, as they call it, an admin is generally able to make over $100,000 per year. If you're only making around $30,000 or $40,000 per year, I would highly recommend doing something like this to skill up and find jobs that will pay you more. It's completely free to learn, so the question is, why not? So start with the job you're exchanging your time for. Your time is valuable. Do you get paid enough? Can you get paid more at your current job if you ask? Can you get paid more to do the same thing somewhere else? Can you skill up into a new career? If you're honest with yourself, the answer to one of those questions is going to be yes. Take a hard look at everything and let's figure out how to get you to the next level of income. Okay, now it's time to talk about the hustle. Do you own your own house and have an extra bedroom or two? I want you to consider renting out bedrooms on Airbnb or even just getting a roommate. Imagine if you were able to get an extra $500 to $1,000 every month just by having a lovely person share your space. I know there can be little hassles, but this is one of the best ways that you can give yourself another stream of income without having to do much of anything. Right now, I live virtually rent-free. I rent a house, and with permission from the landlord, I rent a private section of it on Airbnb, and then I rent out another room in my house. Between the two, it covers the cost of rent and utilities, and sometimes even leaves a profit. And I don't own anything. I'm not responsible if the refrigerator goes out. I don't have to pay for it if the house needs a new roof. Can you imagine if you set yourself up to have almost no bills? How much more money could you invest? Don't you think having a roommate is worth retiring 10 or 20 years earlier? Okay, that's just the easiest part of the hustle. Then I want you to consider getting a second part-time job, or maybe do something like driving for Uber, shopping for Instacart, or selling your clothes on Mercari. I'm not a big fan at all of exchanging your time for money, but for a season, it's okay as you save to invest in the stock market or in real estate. I'm not saying to make something like Uber your full-time job. What I am saying is that instead of watching Netflix for 2 hours every night, for a season, get out and make some deliveries and earn some extra money. Hustle. It's not so bad. Listen to a podcast while you drive around that helps you to advance your knowledge. Now, the best thing about doing something like Uber or Instacart or some other kind of delivery gig from an app is that it's completely flexible. If you need to earn a little money, you can go and do it whenever you want. But all of these apps are not created equally. Apps like Uber and DoorDash may be a bit more inconsistent with what you earn and will tend to be on the lower end. But if you get yourself into Instacart or Shipt, you'll likely make more money. The good and bad thing about those two apps where you go to shop for people is that you generally have to be on a wait list to be a shopper. But that's a good thing once you become a shopper. They don't allow your area to become oversaturated with shoppers, so you can be guaranteed some amount of work. I'm going to tell you something that might blow your mind. My friend's brother is a shopper for Shipt. He does it full time. 1 year recently, he made over $100,000. The next year, he made over $90,000. He works on average about 50 hours per week. Not only that, but his car payment, insurance, gas, and more are all tax deductible. Honestly, that's not a bad gig. I'm not saying that you should do that full time, but it sounds a whole lot better than doing something like Uber. Additionally, because you are in a grocery store shopping for people, you're not driving your car around the whole time, adding miles and wasting gas. Instacart is basically the same thing as Shipt and probably a little more well known. I want to give you an idea that may help you to make a little money and reduce your expenses. What if you opened a checking account and connected it to one of these delivery types of accounts like Uber, or to the payments that you get from a plasma donation center? What if you determined that you would pay for your groceries, gas, and eating out only with the extra money that you make from something like Uber? Then you only use the debit card connected to that account when you buy food or gas. Then you can spend as much as you want eating out, buying groceries, or for extra spending. You just have to go earn it first. I think it will really help you to put a value on your time. Do you really want to spend $50 eating out? Is it worth making 3 hours of deliveries? Maybe it is, but you'll really start to look at your spending and your time in a different way. Okay, enough about that. There are also a ton of part-time jobs that you can work remotely from home that will pay you around $15 per hour for you to do customer service. Find a job like that where you can work a few nights per week for a few hours. In a recent video, I talked about donating plasma for money. That's one of the best financial exchanges you're going to get for your time without needing a skill. Now, what if you did all of these things? What if you reduced your expenses, got a new job or a pay raise, got a roommate, drove 3 nights a week for Uber, and donated plasma twice a week? My point is that hustle can be all kinds of different things. I would imagine that you could come up with an extra $1,000 or maybe even $2,000 that you could save or invest for each month of an 18-month recession. Like I said, this is about hustling and getting ahead because there is no better time to invest than during the low point of a recession. Investing can look like a lot of different things. It might be investing in the stock market, and it might also be investing in real estate. A recession is a great time to look at both, and that's what we're going to talk about in part 3 of How to Win in a Recession. We'll look at the numbers based on you saving that extra $1,000 or $2,000 every month of the recession. Remember, when I assume the recession will be about 18 months, that's just based on the average. It could be a little shorter or a little longer, but we're going to do the math based on the average amount of time. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 3 of How to Win in a Recession, where to put your money for the win. Like this video and join me every Sunday where travel and adventure build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.